and welcome back to the Whole Journey Podcast. We are still in season 2. I know that it has been some time since we last saw you all back at the end of October. And I hope that you missed us as much as we missed y'all. We are going to just, continue on with season 2. I think we were going through all the different journeys, journey to self-love and I can remember all the
healing,
yes,
and spiritual journey,
and surrender.
Yes.
So we're still on the journey, and it's been a journey to say the least. But we're here, and it's a new year, 2025. How y'all feeling about the new year?
I'm excited about it.
I was about to say the same thing. I'm excited for 2025, and I'm just new.
I feel like we all so we've done such different things. They can't see today, but you went and cut all your hair off.
Oh yeah. And then, I was just about to say everybody got new hairstyles.
Yeah, you cut and colored, and I'm colored. So it's like they like, we didn't get any sponsorship money for this yet, but like did they get sponsored? New looks. This look is sponsored by, not yet, but we all got new.
Hoping forward in the near future.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, you say I got a new haircut.
Yeah.
Y'all got a pixie cut. Y'all gonna see it soon. Not today. But
they say, when a woman, when a woman cuts her hair?
Yeah, she about to make some changes.
Yeah.
A new
Something
woman.
different.
What they say about when you color your hair?
We just needed a change.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all.
Switch it up.
Yeah.
A little bit.
That's what I said. Like, I just felt so, I don't know, I was so excited coming into 2025 for some reason. Like, normally I think I've had the attitude of, it's just another day. Like, the year changed, but it's another day. But 2020, coming into 2025, I think I allowed it to feel like a hard reset because I felt like that's what I needed. And so not like real big resolutions or anything, but kind of, I think this was probably one of the first years where I'm like, oh, I am closing the door of 2024. Like I'm shoving all its baggage in a closet and closing it and never opening it again. I think this is the first time I have been very intentional about a hard reset, but I didn't do my normal planning. Like,
Same.
I didn't do, I don't have, I created a digital vision board. So I shouldn't say I didn't. I created a digital vision board to put on my phone and on my wallpaper for my computer and stuff. I did do that, but I didn't do like my normal like strategic planning for myself and even for like my family. Like we had our normal like planning meeting, but because of time that day, I think the only thing we really got through is like a recap of 2024. We didn't.
And when you say family planning, you mean you and your husband, right?
Yes. Yeah. We didn't do our like normal plan out the year, hard set goals. And I think that God meant for it to be that way. Because I don't think he wants to hear my plans. I don't think he's ever really
wanted to hear that.
I don't think that he's a fan of my planning expertise. Like that's what I'm starting to realize. Like
plan all you want, but I'm gonna do what I want to do regardless.
Yeah,
he's gonna do what he want to do regardless.
Yeah, and so we didn't intentionally not plan, but like now that I'm thinking about it, it's like we never went back and because we were like, okay, well we'll just come back tomorrow and plan. We recapped on like the 31st. And we went into real big detail of recapping and the things that we experienced and things that, both individually, as a couple, as in business, but what we learned from it, what we want to do different, but we didn't set a plan moving forward. Like I feel like we normally
For
do.
the new year. I switched it up a little bit because normally I do the vision board, but the TikTok girlies are doing the bingo cards.
Yeah.
And I love that idea.
I did do a bingo card.
So like just instead of having a vision board, you're putting goals in each square and you're trying to get bingo, and just I'm trying to black it out. But yeah, so I created a bingo card for this year and just creating like experiences. I want to get some new hobbies. Of course, I have like some savings goals and, financial goals and stuff like that. But I think this year is going to be about living more and not being so structured and cautious, because that's where I operate. And I hate to say like risk, because somebody said I need to take more risk. But like, I'm so cautious and I'm such a planner, and it has to be like this. And this year I'm like you, I've been planning for 32 years, and he been laughing at my plans every year. So I'm just like, God, have your way.
Yeah.
And hey,
I forgot about the bingo card. My planner, I used the book planner, and it had the bingo card in there. But I did mine a little different. The ones that I said I saw on TikTok, which TikTok is a sore subject for me right now. I'm in mourning this weekend, hence the all black. But I saw like the girls on there did like they wanted to, like they had like all type of stuff. Like it may be like losing weight or financial goals, or like a girls trip, or like it was just all the things. I kind of structured mine where it was like strictly goal oriented, and then I would reward myself with something that I want to do or have been wanting to do if I hit the goal. So like if I bingo, instead of having a vacation on there, if I bingo, then I plan a vacation or a girls trip, or even as simple as get a tattoo. Like I'm going to reward myself by hitting the goals versus having some of the rewards on the actual card. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Keita?
Well, it's kind of similar to you guys. I wanted to do structured planning. I wanted to talk my husband into doing structured planning, but we just didn't get around to it. And I think when we did our New Year's Eve service, I was very clear. Like I was hearing God say some things to me, kind of about what things he wanted me to do. And so I think I was settled after our New Year's Eve service that my goals were going to be open. Like my main focus for this first quarter is to actively build relationship with God. Like I was hearing God say to me, like, this year you're going to hear me. And so I was excited about that. And I was. I didn't realize, like, how on point I was. Like, even in my journaling, that New Year's Eve service was so in line with, like, what I had been writing. Like, when I hear God, what I write. That service was, like, point after point after point. What was in my journal.
I need to start journaling
when
I hear from God. When I hear from God.
You do. You need to start writing it down, because that was confirmation that God was going to organize this year. And so that has been happening. Like, I've been hearing very clearly from God. I have detoxed from TikTok. So I don't know about the bingo. I have not been on TikTok.
You won't get a chance to get back on it.
Yeah, I won't, because when we did our fast, like we do a rotational fast at the beginning of each year, my focus was to not intellectualize God, but to allow him to speak in whatever way he wanted to speak.
Yeah.
And so I had to go back to the drawing board a couple of times, because I do have a way of approaching God's word from an intellectual space, and being repentant when that did occur. Like, okay, God, I'm just going to do this organically. And so in doing that, I have not necessarily felt the need to do professional goals or weight loss goals, which last year was kind of all of those things for me. But I've just been like, okay, this first quarter is going to be seek ye first the kingdom, and all those things will be added. Like I'm actively living that. And what has happened is I was approached for some opportunities because I did not focus on it. And so I'm seeing doors open that I could not have opened myself because I decided to forego that and just really put God to the test. Like, all right, if I prioritize you, all these other things, you know, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
That's so spot on for, you know, we shower girlies. Like, you get in the shower and you might get smacked in your face by something God has to say to you. And he been tearing me up this year. Like, it's like, sometimes I'll be standing outside the shower like, okay, let me get my mental fortitude together to even get in here. Because I know once I get in there and it's no telling what I'm going to hear and it's whether I'm ready to hear it or not. And so I was trying to like come up with a word for the year. And I was still so, I'm still in that surrender place. Like surrender is still like, I really didn't have a word because I feel like I'm still in that surrender space. But then I started seeing discipline everywhere, like discipline. And so I don't have like just one word, but if I could do 3 words, I'm still in that surrender. It's still, I am pledging to be in my white flag season from here on out. Like my knees are skinned, arms bruised from getting drugged by not, you know, surrendering and trying to do it on my own. So I am committed to that white flag season. Like I don't think that word will ever go away from me. And if it does, I'm sure he will find a way to remind me. But I'm still in the surrender. I'm still holding on to that. And then the discipline and then restoration. Like those are like my 3, my trilogy, I guess, of words for this year. And it was one of those things, kind of like what you said, like as I submit to him, I got in the shower and I can't remember if it was already January. Yes, it was already January. And I knew that I wanted to do things differently, spiritual wise, physically. And I didn't even set real lofty goals weight loss wise. I feel like before it would be like, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds a month. And I took away really the pounds goal. Like I said, I wanted to be more healthy. And I wanted to build like a new lifestyle that I can keep up, because I feel like when you set those type of goals, some 10 pounds and stuff like that, it makes, for me, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it requires me to do like some type of strict diet to do that. Like I can't just, it's not a lifestyle, it's a diet. And then I get tired of the diet and then it wears off. So that's why I'm like, no, I just want to build healthier habits and focus on losing weight that way and learn to have a different relationship with the nutrition. So I knew there were things I wanted to do, but then I got in the shower and I heard, the best way I can describe it is like a God is going to give me like a match your energy type of year. You know how like we be like, oh, I'm matching energy. What you put out is what I put out. That's what I heard. Like as much as what you give, I'm going to match. But we always know that his match is like way bigger than ours.
Supersede.
Yeah. And so it's like, I got so convicted because, you know, we say that in relationships and friendships and in jobs, like I'm matching energy, you know, what he put out is what I'm going to put out. And it's like, I got so convicted because we be wanting these big, amazing miracles, but we be treating him like a side dude, you know, showing up when we want
it's
to.
Convenient or
and
when you need something.
Yeah. And so I heard like, how would you feel if I did that to you? Like, I only show up when I feel like it. And ooh, that tore me up. And so it was like, kind of like what you said. I'm like, no, okay, I'm shifting this and I'm going to be all in with building my spiritual journey and my spiritual life. Just all like, that's going to be the focus. And everything else will, like I heard him say, like, everything else will take care of itself. What you put out, having a relationship with me, I'm going to pour into you. As you put forth the effort to try to be healthy, I'm going to take care of the rest because you can't do it on your own. And so as a result, I just feel like, I don't know, I have been way more disciplined than I have ever been in my life. I think I told you, like, I think I have, it's sad to say, but it's the truth. I think I have read the Bible more in these, 18 days than I have in my 31 years of living. Like, I have never, you go to church and you turn to the page. But being intentional about reading the Bible every day, I have never done that consistently. You start out, but doing it every day, I've never done it. And it's so different. Like, it feels like I can't even begin to explain how I feel. Like, I don't think I've ever completed a whole book of the Bible. Because I started out, and then it's like, you be like, oh, crap, I forgot. I was supposed to be reading Proverbs. And we're doing this really good plan, the Bible recap, and that has been so good to me. Like, being able to read it and then have it recap, that has been so helpful. Because I think in the past, you read it, and I don't care what, for me, I can't speak for y'all, I don't care what version you put it in, whether it's Amplified, Message, New Living Translation. I still be confused.
Yeah.
Because they be talking about all them Amorites and ites and this, and I still be confused. And so the recap has helped me so much. And so I'm really enjoying being in a space where I am like reading my Bible and spending time with God every single day. Yeah. That's been so good to me.
I got the 100 Days of Believing Bigger devotional journal. So I've started doing that. So that's been helping me. I enjoy that. I enjoy reading the word, and then they have a little snippet, and then you're supposed to, journal about kind of your interpretation of what you read and how you feel about what you read. So that's been really good for me because I read, like you said, I read it. I done read New King James. I go to NIV. I go to Message, all reading the same thing. Okay, like trying to get everybody's interpretation of that verse or that chapter, but being able to go back and then I'm journaling about it. I'm really, not just reading it and then going about my day, but reading it and meditating on it and really putting some like intentionality behind it with thinking about it. For my word, I don't really have a word, but I've been having to like just submit and practice submission and be quiet. Like that I've heard that so much. Like I be wanting to say something or say something and God catch my tongue. Like what I'm used to popping off about or if I'm used to calling something out, it's just like, don't. Be quiet. Be quiet. So that's kind of my thing in this season. I'm just being quiet, letting God guide my tongue and work on me. And submission is something that we've talked about this before. And not even like submitting to a man, but submitting to God. So that's what.
Yeah, because sometimes we argue back with him unknowingly. He'll tell us to do something, and we, whether we say it verbally, but in our thoughts, we be like, I'm not doing that.
Why would you have me do that? That don't even make sense. Like you said, trying to intellectually.
Yeah, I'm glad you said the devotion thing, because that's something we've been doing that as a couple. We've been we have this devotion. We actually have two. We have the New Morning Mercies devotional, and so we've been reading that every day, and it's like you read a snippet and then it takes you to like the anchor scriptures in the Bible. So we'll read it and then we'll read the Bible passage that goes along with it. So we've been doing that in the morning, and then at night we've been reading I don't know the name of it, but it's by the 5 Love Languages guy. And it's a daily devotional for married, or he just said all couples. And so we do that at night, and it's a daily thing. It doesn't have. It has a scripture. It's like tied into scripture, but it didn't have like a scripture to go and read. But even that morning devotional been like tearing us up because it's like it be so spot on. Like it either be something that we didn't just talked about, something we didn't just experienced. And I never knew, which I don't know. I'm learning to I'm starting to get excited about the word. Like when you find things, it's a whole cure for anxiety. Like the thing in the Bible say, the cure for anxiety. And when I found that, I was like, what? This in the anxiety in the Bible? You know, like I was so amazed and so thrilled. And I know God was serious about it because it talks about it I think in Mark and then again in Luke. So I'm like, okay, I needed to see this. And it's just pretty much what he's talking about, like, don't worry about how you'll take care of yourself and how he clothes the lilies and the this and the that. Like I never knew that heading said the cure for anxiety. It does in my Bible. I have the She Reads Truth Bible. I never knew that was in there. I'm like, the cure was in the Bible the whole time?
Yeah, I was, again, RIP TikTok. But on TikTok, I follow this girl who she kind of does the same thing with the recap. She'll read the Bible and then she recaps it and puts it into like our terms and going over it. But it's like everything in the Bible, everything that we're going through people went through it in the Bible. The manual is there, how to get through it. It's there. We're not the first ones to go through all of this.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can feel like it, but we're not.
Yeah.
And so
absolutely. I think that's what I like about the Bible recap. I think it's going in chronological order of events, right? I think that's why it's like skipping around.
Yeah, that's what they said. It's going in chronological order.
I'm not sure.
Because we skipped from Genesis then to Job, and now we're back in Genesis with Abraham. So I think it's going in like order of events. But seeing like Job's story, that was I needed to read that chapter. And it's crazy because I felt like God had told me to read it back in either November or December. And I started it, but I think I only read like the first 3 chapters. But I'm glad that I read it with that plan because the recap helped me. And I feel like it's given me an understanding that I know I wouldn't have had then because I'm in a different place spiritually. But also the Bible recap is teaching us to see, what does she call it? God shot. Yeah, and so it reframes the way you read the Bible.
It does.
Because you're being intentional about
seeing God.
And how he shows up.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that I waited to, which I know delayed obedience is still disobedience, but I'm glad I read it when I did because I was able to get those recaps to get a full understanding of what I'm reading, but it also reframed me to still see God. Because I feel like if I would have read it without the God shots, it would have gave me like a woe is me type outlook. Like, dang, Job going through the same thing as me. But through the training of the plan, I was reading Job's story, but I was still seeing how God was still showing up in ways, So
and not making it self, but about God, the bigger picture.
Yeah. So I've enjoyed, and I've been really excited about it. Like I think this is also the first time I've been just excited about reading the Bible and reading the Word and learning new things. You know, you get excited about going to church or, you know, hearing your favorite preacher, but just excited about your alone time. That's new for me.
Do you think that it helps also having that community? So many different women are also on that same journey, and you're able to kind of share?
Not really.
You don't think
not
so?
for me, because I feel like it's overwhelming.
With so many.
Yeah, and I've even closed it. Like I
have the
I
notifications
got
out.
rid of the notifications
Okay.
because I believe that although we can have a collective journey, it's got to be individual, and I think that's the part that we missed for so long.
Yeah.
You know, church is collective. When we get in Bible studies and things like that, it's all been collective. And sometimes when we are in a collective environment, there's competition. You know, who interpreted the best, or who, you know, who's reading it, who's not missing a day, who's getting to do it first, who's doing theirs at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And so you miss the essence of who God is and who God wants to be for you.
Yeah.
So it's impactful for me to just, okay, there's a prayer that you do right before, but right before it. And so once I do the prayer and I go into the reading, the goal is find God in this. And you are going to be tempted to see yourself. You're going to be tempted to see yourself, like she said, as the victim in the story. I'm Job, you know. But what if you're one of the friends with horrible advice? Or what if, you know, there's something else God wants to show you in that? If we always see ourselves as the main character, like we have main character syndrome, we can sometimes miss seeing God.
Yeah.
And so I do like the God shot because it forces you to be in the middle of in the middle of that verse and identifying it with you. And the Holy Spirit say, that's nope. And go back and read this because it's something else I want to show you. So my practice has been to read, do my analysis, then go back to what she is sharing.
Me
when
too.
it aligns, hallelujah. But if it doesn't, that doesn't mean either of us are wrong.
Right.
It just means God had something different he wanted to show me that day.
And I even, so, yes, to piggyback on what you said, I turned the notifications off in the larger group. So a girl invited me to she told me about it, invited me to it, and then I, invited people. But I turned the notifications off in that because it was quite overwhelming. But I enjoy, like you said, like I have been getting my own God shot first. And then, in the Bible app, you can write out your thing. And so I enjoy sometimes when you've already journaled, you've already wrote yours, and then yours is something different from me. So you saw one thing that I didn't even really see, then I may have a different perspective, and then I go back and read hers, and hers is something so completely different. Like I'm enjoying seeing all the different perspectives. I think that's helping me more, and even expanding my knowledge because it's like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. But I feel like that large community would have been way, way too much. I haven't even caught up on the notifications. My sister is reading the plan, and so. If you know my sister, like she takes nothing serious. And so, but she's been doing good. She's been reading. And she was like, man, you and Makidia, like y'all be writing some good stuff. She said, I be reading. I'm like, dang, they smart. She said, I just read y'all, so keep going. She's like, because if I put mine, y'all be like, what is wrong with this fool? Because she was saying how, when we were talking about Noah and the flood, we were reading about Noah and the flood, and she said, she read ours, and she was like, before she even read ours, she was like, God said, all right, watch this. I got something for y'all. And I'm like, well, that's if that's how, you got it, that's how you received it, that's still good.
Yeah, it is.
But she was like, y'all be writing some, but she make everything funny. So she was like, y'all be writing some good stuff.
But that's what I'm talking about. When you in those collective spaces like that, you get to feeling like, well, my relationship with God must not be that good because I wasn't inspired in that way. I would love her to just put it out there like that, because it's wrong for all of us.
She's been letting it inspire her, but she was just like, not to the point to where she gonna start writing it, because there's no telling what she would write. I mean, she's gonna have a funny perspective of it anyway. But I told him, like, that's still good that, you know, you have a different perspective and that you are learning from our perspective.
Yeah.
You know, so you're getting even more comprehension and, you know, knowledge. But yeah, I couldn't imagine, which I don't know. I haven't looked in the group to see, are they all giving their God shots, or, because that would
Yeah.
be a lot.
I too have it muted.
Uh-huh.
Because it is a lot, but they are giving their God shots.
Shots. They
know.
respond. They respond to each other.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not I like. I can't even say I just like social media like that, but that space, that chat group, I think there's a generation that is for. Clearly not me. Like it's not for me. I would rather have that dialogue in person.
Yeah.
I don't want to read it.
Yeah. Or maybe like a Zoom.
Yeah.
Or something.
A Zoom would
I
work,
think, and it is. I mean, it's all different age groups of people, but it's for me. I'm starting to get to a weird space with which I know we're gonna talk. You know, later, you know, in the season we'll talk about careers and stuff like that. But I get so bogged down with notifications because of work, like constantly texting, constantly responding to messages, constantly answering the phone, that I don't want all of those notifications.
Yeah.
It overwhelms me to have all those notifications and then to feel like I have to go back and read all those messages. So that's why I turned it off, because it was like a lot of notifications, which is a lot of women in the group.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
It's community,
It
for
is.
those who need it.
And I'm gonna tell the girl who invited me, I think is one of the like original creators. I don't know, they may have thought about this, but I'm like, maybe have like a whether it be in person or virtual, like you said, Zoom, maybe have like a dialogue maybe every quarter to kind of talk about
Didn't they have
things.
one every Sunday?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see
like,
I
Yeah, I think they do like every Sunday.
They do
Yeah.
a Zoom?
Mhm,
Okay.
They do a Zoom.
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
guess I've been getting my own, so I didn't feel the need.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do weekly either. Like I said,
Monthly.
I'm willing to say quarterly, like do a quarterly Bible recap group or girls day out, where it's like you sitting down and you talking about how transformative it's been and what you've learned, and but talking to that many people every day would overwhelm me. So yeah, I turned that off. But I'm very appreciative, which I hadn't had a chance. I told her briefly, but I hadn't had a chance to really tell her again. Like, I'm glad that she invited me to it, because I feel like it has, which we had our devotions before she invited me. We found those in like December, or earlier in December. So we were already planning on doing like the devotional thing, but this has given me way more, because some days you're reading 3 and 4 chapters a day. So I'm appreciative of that, but the larger community I don't think is for me. Like you said, it has to be personal. And I don't know, maybe it's also a little bit of, I don't know if I want to be the vulnerability in front of that many women, which we're vulnerable here in this space, but I don't know. That's a little different to me. So I don't think I would do the weekly things.
Yeah.
I'm
like whatever's for you.
I'm
What's
tickled.
for you?
I'm
It's for
kind of
you.
tickled that you said, no, they're meeting weekly. I'm like, oh, okay. I have completely
I
missed
saw
it.
I think I may have seen the first one, but
Yeah.
then
I didn't even get on that one.
Neither did I.
Because I kind of knew that I just kind of wanted to, pace my way through it. I know some of them, I think, got like the hard copy of some of the stuff. And I would like a hard copy, but I know the digital is a lot more convenient for me, because what I have been trying to do, as as moms and as wives, you typically are the first person up in the house, first person up and the last person to go to sleep. And so I have been trying to read it in the morning while my house is still quiet. And before I wake them up to get, when we start moving around, I have been trying to be intentional about doing it first thing in the morning. And I feel like it has been kind of helping my day.
Sets the tone.
Yeah, it calms me before my day, before you get in the chaos of the day. Because my phone, it can start ringing at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Well, really, by 8 o'clock, my phone will be ringing. So just trying to get that before the busyness of the workday gets started has been helpful. So, is yours a hard copy? A hard thing?
The 100 Days of Believing? Yeah, it's hard.
I like the journal piece. I have to get a journal. I have to start journaling.
Yeah, I got it on Amazon. I like it. I love it, actually.
You can journal in your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a journal app there. So if you and it's password protected. So you can use
I can put it on
app.
my iPad and just
You can.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
sometimes
trying
I
to
do.
use my iPad more. I have it and it's kind of collecting dust.
Oh no, mine.
And my iPad. I'm more on my laptop.
Yeah.
And my phone.
I was about to say, my laptop, it went out. And if you know Apple products, when Reggie took it to Apple, they were like, well, the cost to fix it, which I can still use it, but I have to like dock it. I have to hook it up to like a TV or a monitor to use it because the screen is out. But like the price to fix it was like
a new one,
the value of the laptop itself. And so to me, I'm not ready to get a new one. Like it doesn't make sense. So I am going to dock it and use it like as a desktop. But that made me to have to start using my iPad Pro because I didn't have a laptop to use. But before, I don't think I used it.
That
I
much.
I didn't.
I want to use it to its full capacity. Like I feel like when I do get on, it's very limited. So it's just like I got this. I need to really put it to use.
The thing that's annoying for me though is like I want, like you're saying, and I do plan on starting to do it because you can write with the pencil and stuff like that. But for me, I'm using it as a laptop, so it's like docked to my keyboard. So it will be a little bit difficult for me to like then use it as a tablet. So I'm trying to figure out how to balance that. But I was forced to start using mine, and it's still I miss my actual laptop because it still has its limitations.
Yeah, so I would say there's limits.
It's more like a phone.
A big phone.
Yeah, so it's like I still miss my laptop, but I'm not ready to give Apple the money for a brand new MacBook right now. I'm not doing it. So I just I think that 2025 is going to be, I think it's going to be good. I'm excited.
I think so too. I think it's going to be transformative.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to be. Because I don't see this year being like any other year I've ever had before. And so I'm just going into it hopeful.
Yeah.
And I've already made the steps to like change some things. I think Pastor talked about this. Like, are you going to have the same year? Are you going to have 2024 all over again this year? And I was like, I refuse to do that again. So it's just like, I got to make some changes and like submitting to God because we make these plans and he laughs and he rips them up. And then here we are.
I think that's been a good reminder for me. Like when you see stuff trying to come up, because just because you spending time with God, that don't mean the devil gonna lay like, oh, let me leave her alone. That ain't how that works. But that's what's been helping me. I feel like handle things better. Like 2024 was so transformative for me, and when the stuff come up, I'm like, 2025 it's not gonna be like 2024. And then like how Pastor was saying Wednesday, like correction. Like I had the last couple of days, I've had some moments where I'm like, correction. I'm not doing that this year. This is a day. and this day will not determine the rest of my month or the rest of my year. And so, yeah, I don't know. It just is. It started off different. The year has already started off different.
I
So
agree.
I'm very hopeful about how the rest of the year will look.
Same. And we only, you say 18 days in. It's already feeling
Feeling good.
good.
Yeah, I agree. So do y'all have anything that, not a goal, I guess not really a goal, but a overall, I guess it would be a goal, like an overall goal for yourself for the year, or something you want to see for yourself by the end of this year that we can leave off with? Y'all thinking? For me, I would say, I'm gonna say in a healthier space all the way around. Like, so that whole, just all what that means, like the spiritual, being more spiritually healthy, being more mentally healthy, being more physically healthy. I hope to disappear in front of this camera, like in a few months. They're like, oh, she look different. That's what I'm hoping. That's my prayer. But just overall, if I could, I want to see myself by the end of this year. I come back and I'm like, man, I am so much more healthy. All the way around
aspects of your life. I think that's good.
Yeah, that's my goal for the year. And to live, kind of like you said, like I want to get back to doing things like me and my husband used to travel a lot, and just do fun stuff. Like we got so bogged down, I feel like, with business. I want to get back to like going to concerts and traveling more, even if it's just a weekend trip. So yeah, experience life more. That's my goal.
I was just about to say that, experience life. What about you, Keita? I still don't have anything.
Huh?
I still don't have anything.
I was just about to say she pushed it to you because she's still thinking.
Because I think we could all kind of relate to what you said, just wanting to be healthier, wanting to be better in all aspects of our life. I want to look back. When I get to December 31st, I want to look back over this year and see that I am not the same person that I was. And I'm better. I'm closer to God. One thing about this year, I'm going to be intentional in every aspect of my life, intentional in my dating life. Yeah.
She ready to stop after that.
Pause.
Anything you want to add to that, Keita?
No. I think you guys kind of summed it up. Just look more like Jesus as the year goes by.
Yeah, that's
all.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, if you all have any resolutions or any big goals for this year, be sure to let us know. Send them to us. If you don't feel comfortable dropping them in the comments, send us a DM or send us an email. If you have any questions about like your goal setting or how to get started on your spiritual journey, we'll be happy to send you some links to some of the stuff that we talked about, the devotions and the plans that we're reading. Even if you're looking for accountability, I think that's been really good for me too. Like reading it together is giving me a sense of accountability. Whether you need spiritual accountability or physical accountability, let us know, and maybe we can kind of help hold each other up to get through this year.
And I feel like if you heard, Bree talk about the Bible recap, it's not too late. You may think, oh, it's day 18, I'm too far behind. If you want to jump in, you can. It's never too late to jump in and start. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's good. If you guys want the link to that or the Bible.
The Bible recap.
The Bible recap on the Bible app. You can get it on the Bible app too and just sign up for the reading plan.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Well, this was good. I'm glad to be back, and we're glad to be back talking to y'all and in front of y'all, and we hope to hear from y'all, on all of these episodes, and keep bringing y'all good content and, living our journeys out for you all to see. So until next time, I'm Brianna.
I'm Makidia.
And I'm Tanisha.
And this is the Whole Journey Podcast.